This conference will now be recorded.
We have written headings, subheadings, paragraphs, and the comment. Right. Let us see that output like this. Okay. So, okay, user enter into your website and read that heading and interested to read or to know more. But as you have given a plain text, so user is trying to read one line, second line tough, and third line gone away. That means nobody will show to read a long number of, a group of statements, a group of lines for a number of, what can I say, uh, lines. So we have to do focusing over the content. To get focus over the content, there is nothing but highlighting of a content. So we have few formatting elements. For example, if I want to highlight these word, this group of characters, one of the formatting element which is strong. Like in the Word document, you will be seeing bold, italic, underline, link, like this. Na? The same we can do here also with coding, with HTML elements. Now observe, I just written strong element and in between that written something matter, a group of characters, and that is highlighting now. So user can focus over this, why these people have highlighted like this, especially right now. Then additionally, one more, for example, this one, I want to make it an underline. U stands for underline. Let us make this statement underline, right? This one. And for example, if I want to make it something, this one as italic. So let us make this I. I stands for italic. Right now, the text which is showing something in a different format which is italicized. Then combination of these three things, how it will be. Let us do for this. Just we are trying to do implementation of different things, different paragraphs or the different words. So we want all these three things at a time. Okay, you open a strong and closed. In between that strong, open and closed, opened another list, sorry, open, underline and closed. Inside this open and closed I. Now here as it is middle, now place that content what we want to highlight. Now observe Right now, at last one, bold, italic, and underline. All these three things. Okay, now we want to create superscript and subscript concept. What is the concept of superscript and subscript? Highlighting something content in the format of towards to up and towards to down. Simply we can say when we are writing something mathematical expressions and scientific equations, it will be having squares and something downwards. So how, what is that? Let us write. For example, this is a word. These characters, I want to make it something superscript. So write SUP superscript. Then observe showing the content towards to top, showing the characters towards to top. Right now, that is what we can say superscript. Then we want something that should be towards to down. So let me do, for example, okay, somewhere else you can do it. I just want to make it A, that should be towards to down. Opposite of superscript is subscript. So let us write, okay, subscript. And then now, right now, the text which is showing towards to down. Okay, we got a clarity, some of the formatting elements which can be focused over the content. And now user is expecting, okay, you have given three paragraphs. Actually, to know more information, sometimes, not sometimes, when you go to the articles, when you go to the uh, news news websites or any blog information, they will be showing you read more link. When you click on it, it is just opening a full matter of that particular content. Right now, that is what you can say redirecting from one page to another page. That is here, I mean, showing the full matter is not a concept of redirecting. Clicking on a particular link, how we can create a link creation. That is what we have to discuss. So, okay, I want to highlight this one, meaning when user clicks on it, it has to move to the page, some other page. So, where is that? Mm, okay. Mm. Now, to make it an link effect, we have to write A. A stands for anchor element and place. Now see the output first. Nothing else happened. Why? Because of we have discussed, we have discussed some of the elements are independent, can work. Some of the elements are dependent on attributes. So, so far whatever we have discussed here, elements are all working as a independent. But if, I mean, the few elements are dependent on attributes. Why? Because of here we are saying that user have to click on the text, then it has to redirect to the given link. But how to mention that link? To specify that link, we require an additional attribute to the anchor element, href, hyperlink reference. When you want to redirect within your website from one page to another page, you just can write simply that particular file name. Of course, we don't have about us, but think that you are redirecting within the website, within the page, sorry, within your website itself. So you can just see now. And when you click on this, it is redirecting to the page. But of course, as there is no page created, so it is saying that file not found or page not found, something error. If it is there, it will open that one. But one thing here, you have to identify if it is within the page, sorry, within the page, or if it is within the website, then you can just specify a file name and its HTML extension. But if it is required to move out of this website, that is called, we can say, external link. So to make it that external link, for sure you have to write http colon 2 // http colon 2 // and then www dot to which page, to which website that you want to move, can just write. Now see that output. When user clicks on it, right, it is redirecting to the page. Okay, so now if you observe one more point, where is your content? In the same tab, when you click on it, the new content is loading, which is overwriting on your content. So now to see your content again, you need to go back. Now you want to stay, you want to see your content and at the same time you want to see the new content both. In that case, you can just add one more attribute here. We can add n number of attributes, but that should be related to that particular element only, not irrespective. How you can remember, how you can identify all these things means I will show you. So first of all, let us write. The concept now is when user clicks a link, it has to open the page in a new tab. So that's why we have written target and that equals to underscore blank underscore blank. Then now when we click on it, it is opening in a new window, right? That is, so we got a clarity that how to create a link where user clicking on a particular link, it has to open something content. One thing, for example, if you missed http colon 2 // then what will happen? When you click on it, it is saying that this is also a page within your website, not an external website. So you have to mention HTTP and two forward slashes. Even if you miss www, no need to worry, it will open. Okay, so and so far, okay, we have written headings and content, and in between that, we want to just draw a line which is called HR, horizontal line. And what is the meaning of this statement? It is inline element. You have opened and closed there itself with forward slash at the end. So that is okay. Then and now instead of writing n number of paragraphs, at least if we display one image, the user can understand what is the concept these people are telling right now. So instead of reading hundreds of lines of statements in characters, if users see an image, the representation will just give a meaningful right now what we want to say. So now how to work with images. Let us just copy images from somewhere else. We have a number of images here. I just kept sample and then I just wants to use in the HTML, just paste it. One thing, all the images make sure to locate in a separate folder as it is images concept. So we have given a folder name as images. Now we want to display an image. So to display an image, how? We have img element. But by writing just img, what will happen? Nothing will happen right now. Like same anchor element. That is expecting something attributes. Why? Because of you need to specify which image that you want to show. That is why we have an src. src, which is source. From that source, I mean a source attribute, you are just referring any of that image. Meaning from this page, you are entering to the images folder and referring to the particular image. Now see that output right now. Nice image. And defaultly the image is showing its original size, height and width. But we want to make it something not such a bigger image, make that should make something smaller. So that's why we have to write the dimensions, which is called width and height. So which is called width. Okay, what is the height and width? Let us see, and then we adjust. 300 by, I mean width 300, height 480. So we just make it something like this. Height 280, 280 pixels. Pixels means dot. 280 dots that you are covering. Where you are covering? You are covering in the total active window of page, you are covering 280 dots. That is the meaning of pixels. Okay, and height, 100. Let us just try something like this. Now, as we have adjusted the dimensions, mm, sorry, width 100, height 280. Width 100, height 280. Then, okay, and as we have given the dimensions and image, for example, something else went wrong. I mean, if the image is something went wrong, maybe a image name or URL, something went wrong. See that output now. You are showing, you're trying to show image, but that is showing an empty right now. So is it good? No. User is expecting, sorry, user is seeing your content and user will think, okay, these people tried to do something, but not happened. It seems something that we are unable to do. So when we don't have a clarity whether it will be displaying properly or not, in that case, we just can write another attribute which is called alt. Then let me write here, okay, you can say something. Now, if the image is not displaying, automatically alternate, that alt will display its text. At least the user can understand now instead of showing that empty box. That is one. Second thing, okay, if image is properly loading, then no need to worry about the alt. That will display. Then the next point, if you observe, actually image is taking up to what you can say 100 pixels only. The right hand side totally, it's totally waste of space. In the web page, you should not waste space. Make sure to display the content beside that image. So to display the image and content side by side, then you need to use an attribute called align, and that equals to either left or right. Now by writing this, now by writing align and that equals to left, observe, obviously it is fixing something in the left hand side and automatically the content is trying to adjust in the right hand side part beside that image. That is one. Okay, let us do one thing. Let us still reduce to something else to 50 pixels of height and 180 pixels of, sorry, 50 pixels of width and 180 pixels of height. That is what we want to see. Meaning how much of image it is occupying. We say that content will start. Once the image is completed, the content will start from the beginning again. Okay, so we got a clarity how we can adjust that image. Clear up to this point? Understood? Then, like as we have given a link to the text, in the same way, we even can give a link to the img element. So how? Same. A href here. If you don't have an idea at this moment to which page it has to be redirected, then just you can write hash. Then place that image in between that anchor element. Getting my point? I just written in place of text, this time image. That's it. And then now you can place a mouse and it is showing hand symbol, meaning user can click on it. And when user click on it, as we just given hash, that is, it should not redirect it to any page. To redirect it, it should not redirect it to any place. So it is nothing else to redirect. If we give link, obviously it will redirect. That is common. And apart of all these elements in HTML, whatever we have discussed, whatever we are going to discuss, apart of all the HTML elements, there is one common attribute which is called title. What this title will do? Meaning, see, let us think. This is a paragraph giving something information, but user don't have time to read each and every point. So to make it simplified manner, now what we can do, to the paragraph element, write a title attribute. Title element which we have discussed here is different. Title attribute is different. Title element is just giving a name to the total page in the tab, whereas title attribute is giving preference and it's giving information or a summary of the particular content. So I'm just writing here like this. What happens by writing title something matter? Now observe. When I place a mouse over, when I place a mouse on a third paragraph, did you see anything? Of course, nothing any special effect. When you place mouse second, nothing else. When you place mouse on first paragraph, you are getting something a short summarized statement, meaning it is giving a simplified manner to understand what this matter is telling, what this text is saying. The same that you even can apply for image, for anchor element, for heading, for anywhere. That's why we say a title is an attribute, is a common for all the elements of HTML. Okay, so then we got a clarity with some contents, headings and subheadings, paragraphs and formatting elements, links and images. Okay, now the client is saying that instead of showing n number of lines like this, show something a simplified format of points wise, so that that user can show much interest to read that matter. Simply we can say points wise in general, but in coming to the point of terminology, listings, lists, lists. So okay, we have some items here to make it something points, and user is giving these points to display like this, and just copying this one. And okay, I want to display after the first paragraph. Why I am writing HR means to just divide. You are thinking that we are creating a list of items by writing a points wise, by writing like this. Sorry. Excuse me, I just please I request you to please mute. If you have any queries or doubts, please unmute and discuss. Okay, na? So actually, we thought that it should display points wise, not something like a matter. Same like this. So to make this as a points wise, to make this as a what you can say listings, then we have two different types of listings. Lists are nothing but showing that matter in a points wise. There are two types. One is order list and another thing is unordered list. And each may be order or unordered. It should have each list of item with LI. LI stands for list item. Now, how to use this one? Okay, let us open first. Write an element of OL. Sorry, OL. OL stands for order list. And in between that OL opening and closing, specify each item as an LI list item. So first, let us write LI for all the statements. Then place the statement or matter in between that LI opening and closing. Let us write. Okay, so and one more point, I don't want to set in the middle of the paragraph. So let me bring this total concept down towards to down totally. Then see that output now. OL stands for order. Order is nothing but a points number wise like this. Automatically, as the number of items we have, each item that is list item is specified with an LI. Okay, so now in the same way, another list, just copy and paste and change in place of OL, UL, another list. Order list is just showing point in number wise. Another list will be defaultly showing in terms of bullet points like this. And one more point, any of this list item, any of this list item or else multiple list items can also have its own sublist of items. Meaning, if I want to create a sublist of items under the social signals of list item, then how to present? As we want to make it something, a group of sub list of items under the social signals, which is written in one of the li. So now observe, in between, 1 second, hold on. Right. Now, what is our requirement? To the social signals, we want to create another set of list of items. So now observe how it is going to display. Right now we got a clarity, yes, saying that a social signals is having again some set of subset of list of items. And one more point, as you opened the main list of items in an order list, that doesn't mean the sub list of items also should be in order list. It can be opposite, which is called an order list. Now observe, if you observe, the first order list of items are showing bullets, whereas second order means under that main list of items is called second order, are showing in terms of circles. And once again, for example, if you want to create another as a third list of items, so only the one thing that you have to remember, before closing that li, you have to again open and close either order or unordered list of items. Okay, so now observe, that is, so like this you can create a list of items, sub list of items and everything, where user can see, okay, this is main, this is main, under this we have sub things, and again a sub inner things, like this, where you can see this kind of things, means you can see at the time of sitemap creation, what is that will let you know. And one more point, as you are working with the concept of list of items, it doesn't mean only a simple characters should be presented. It is not like that. You even can make it any list of item, or else all the list of items. Even it can be of an anchor link. That is right. Even it can be of, okay, so let us see here right now, an anchor element. A list item can also become as a anchor element. And Not only a text can consider as a list item, you even can also make it an image also. For example, let me just display in place of text. If you want to make it an image src, images folder, something, make it simplified, and width something with 50 pixels, height something 50 pixels, to make it small like this. Okay, so we can do list of items, and each list of item can also have a link format, or it can also have an images format. Okay, like this. And additionally to this, you even can also change, but it's very rare cases only, with the attribute of type and that equals to, if you have written a, what will be the output? Now observe, it is just starting from alphabet A, B, C, and so on. If you have given capital A, it will show capital letters. If you have given Roman number, which is I, that is 1, 2, 3 Roman number letters, just you can display in the format of Roman number letters. Right now, that is. So this is about how we can create a concept of listings, and where you can see means, let me show you. For example, okay, HTML sitemap, example like this. Let me click on images and I can see. So saying that main pages, sub pages, like this. Saying that this is a heading, under this we have list of items, like this. See, a nice format. They have, of course, how you can get this kind of things means that you need to write a CSS code. That is a later issue. When we come to the point of CSS, we will discuss that part. Okay, so like this, about us blog columns, under these columns we have sub list of items. So this is the usage of, you can say, what you can say, listings, and you even can see headings, subheadings, paragraphs, and some other contents. We will discuss image right now. So like this, we are discussing one by one to make it something, a proper presentation of a content of a website or web application. Okay, this is one format which is completed. Then now the client is saying that I have some raw data and that should be formatted in a rows and columns, like as we say Excel sheet. Excel sheet, hope you have an idea, already going through with this a number of times. In the Excel sheet, we will be having rows and columns in a tabular format right now. So the client is saying that make something data that which the client is giving in the format of an organized or systematic way that user can understand easily. So to do such kind of thing, let us do one thing. Before that UL, I just want to create the concept of tabular. Hmm. Now, to work with the concept of a table, that is a format of table designing, we have to use a table element. In this table element, we have three things. One is table heading, table body, table, foot. In each and every part, we need to open a number of rows, and each row can have number of columns. Without a row, there won't be a column that you have to follow. And without a table, there won't be a rows and columns. Then let us write TR. TR stands for table row. And I want to show in this TR, make it heading. That is, a table can also have heading. So let me write here product details, meaning that you want to create a concept related to products, and that's why you just given a main heading as product details. And now observe, right, as you have written TH, TH stands for table heading, and it is used to set a column, and we want to see a border. That means to identify it is having rows and columns, you just can use a border attribute, and that equals to something else, 1 pixel or 2 pixel, and so on. A table overall border, and for a column wise border again. Under this main heading, we want to create subheadings, like we can say product ID, product code, product price, product title, product image, something like this. We want to see in a proper way. So create a new row, because we want to see a sub list of items. I mean, don't say sub list of items, a sub columns. That's why you just have given serial number, first column. Columns will be displaying side by side automatically. Another sub column, which is name of the product, price. Okay, before that, we want the image of the product, price, then quantity, then action. For example, okay, you might have already gone through a number of times shopping cart websites to purchase something, maybe a grocery, maybe a products or anything. While purchasing, whilst you will be selecting some items, all the items that will show in an order wise, I mean one by one, with product name, product title, product price, how much of quantity, and total price, and total at last something, right now. And each and every product row, product listing is will be having edit and delete options also, right now. That if you want to edit that product, or if you don't want to use that, like if you don't want to purchase that product, then removing. So how we can write means under the action. Okay, first of all, let us see this one. We have now two rows in a table. One is with the product details main heading. Under that, sub list of headings. And actually, our concept is product details is a main heading, and that should be categorized into serial number, name, image, price, quantity, action, right now. But now it is showing something that product details is only main heading for serial number. It should occupy, it should spread, it should merge the number of columns as a single column. What is that merging? Means observe now. How many columns we have written? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Make this a single column as a 6. How? By writing that attribute called span 6. Now observe, right? You made it something, a single column as a 6 columns spreading. Under that, sub columns. And under the action, again, you want to create two more things. So now open the T head, that is first column under the serial number, under the name, under that image, under that price, under that quantity, and then under that action, you want to write an edit and delete. Two things. Two things. Okay. So as we want two things under the action, so okay, first you see here like this. Under the action, we want two things, but it has stopped here itself. So to make it merging of two columns, call span 2. Then under that action, you have two sub columns. And at the same time, as one more column is added, you just add product details with 7, because previously it is 6 columns, now it became 7 columns. That is, so this is how you can create a table. Of course, it's not complicated. We just done with the headings format. Then in tomorrow session, we will discuss with the listing, or you can say table body and table footer. So far whatever we have discussed today, just try to implement. And if you have any questions or queries, keep it notes, and tomorrow we'll discuss and clarify. Okay, not only today's session, that is continuously whatever we are discussing in a daily basis. Okay, then so the things clear what we have discussed today.
Yes, it is clear.
Right then. Okay then, so thank you and bye. We'll meet tomorrow.
Thank you. Bye.